Yeah.
Then you'd have another, sorry, not even square, rectangle. So then you'd have another, like almost padding rectangle that looks like a wave, but has nothing in it. It just has that kind of left to right wave view, which you could establish as colours. And then above that, you'd have another rectangle component that you would just match as an aligned colour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just that if you had this as a new component.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but you would take out any bit in there that's specific to the component below. So all that component would do is have blue and white in it, essentially.
But then for the wing image to sit close to the top of this side.
But that's what I think, is that we'd change the design so it shifted out of it. Do you get what I mean? So it would almost just be a bigger piece of padding.
But then, could you not just have the white choose esure? Well, the white choose esure with the wave in it, and then the wing image would sit beneath it anyway.
Yeah. But then the only issue with that is that then the white choose esure always has to have the wave. And do you always have that? Russell, can we take this one away with Kevin?
Yeah.
Sorry, is that all right, Mark?
Yeah, because it's saying you always have the wave. That was...
Yeah.
But if you want to change, then obviously that's fine.
I just think it's going to create a lot of issues, but maybe I'm wrong. Russell, what do you think?
I just wouldn't have any of the waves by the sounds of it, because we can't actually, like, if we're going to recreate components on pages, how are we always going to stack them? Because then even if you were future proofing, who's going to be the one who knows how to add a wave in? It's my concern. But if there's no sort of toggle option within the component, whether we could toggle on wave, toggle off wave. So I don't know, for why choose esure, say that's one of the ones you can always toggle on or off, and then it would depend what goes underneath it. But I don't know. I think it's probably one to discuss with Kev.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what I think we need to? I think we need to discuss it with Kev and Gareth.
Yeah.
And just be like, how fundamental is this?
I think more generally, this design is a kind of a cohesive page design where there's lots of overlap between the different components, which is absolutely fine if you're building it as a single page. But if you're trying to componentize it, then it's much more difficult to have that overlap, with colours as well. So I mean, that the white choose esure colour is matching with the bottom of the header component. But again, that might not always be the case. It might be against a component with a white background or any other colour.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think we have a clear answer for you, Mark.
Okay. So I think this issue, as I mentioned, will continue to crop up as we continue talking, because I think that's one of the main things that we're going to struggle with. So that's that component. So the wing image, I think the background colour and the wave would not be, you wouldn't be able to change. But again, I think it ties in with what we've been discussing, really. Because they're part of the base CSS rather than...
Yeah.
So...
It's fine. I'll take that into the action and can catch up with Gareth, because it feels like wave is going to be for most of them, like you're saying.
Yeah. Obviously, that's the same just with the left alignment. Service messaging is fine. This one is just what we mentioned with the product templates. So rather than having two hard-coded panels here, you could bring those in from product pages if they were defined.
Yeah, that makes sense to us.
So the blog articles page is exactly the same. So you could have 3 hard-coded items, or you could have it just bring in the latest 3 blog pages, and you'd be able to. That comment is incorrect. Sorry, you would be able to override them. But by default, you can bring in the latest 3.
Yeah, sounds good.
The footer, as mentioned, is a similar thing with the cityscape shadow encroaching on the components above. So I think realistically, that cityscape would have to be completely contained within the footer. Just because of the componentization, if you're building the whole page, it wouldn't be an issue, but if you're breaking it up into components, it will be.
I think that's fine for it all to sit in the footer. I guess the only question is probably how much bigger it makes the page based on if there's 0 overlap, but I think it's fine just to sit in the footer.
I don't know if the height of that city image could be reduced potentially.
Yeah, I think that probably made more sense. I guess if we're putting it all within the footer, I just worry that we've then just extended the page by what is essentially a blank piece.
Yeah. Okay. Let's figure out how much the deal breaker is, I think, Russell.
Cool.
But couldn't this image be reduced slightly? Reduce the height of the buildings.
Yeah, like lower it down. Yeah. I think that's it. I think we need to work with brands. Be like, how much can we compromise on it? Do you know what I mean? Which I think probably work a bit better. So we'll try and see if they'll let us reduce it.
And then we've got the hub links would work in a similar way. We're bringing the latest 3. So the product page. So here it's saying must for everything, but is it really?
Sorry, it's more the page before is kind of the slide before is what has to be included, which is obviously the nav, the header, and the footer.
Yeah.
And the slide after is how we'd like the build to be. So day 1. That's if that makes sense.
So these things would be optional components.